Once upon a time, there was a city with the biggest garbage dump in the world. Could you imagine a place 3 times bigger than the Central Park of Manhattan? Well, yes, 3 times bigger. This place is about fresh kills. It was a landfill that covered 2,200 acres in the district of Staten Island in New York City in the United States. Landfills, like fresh kills, layer their waste. At the top, there is usually a layer of soil, and then a covering cap made of clay or plastic. Then the garbage or trash cell, then another layer of sand or gravel, then older cell of trash, and then a bottom liner before the groundwater. In between, there are, depending on the sophistication of the landfill, methane gas recovery and stormwater drainage systems. Most municipal waste sites that is managed by the government, like fresh kills, they are 34% paper, 13% yard trimmings, 12.4% of food scraps, 11.7% plastic, 7.6% metals, 7.3% of rubber, leather, and textiles, 5.5% wood, 5.3% glass percentage, and a small percentage of other materials depending on the EPA.
Hi guys, this is not a horror story like the ones that scare us all so much. Hi guys, this is not. Today I want to tell you about another true story that can also be taken as terror for our planet. We tell the Sea. The story of the Panamanian flagship Sea is one of the many examples of the problems we encounter in our society to eliminate waste. The story of the Panamanian flagship the Sea was rented by the city of Philadelphia to transport hundreds of tons of incinerator ash to Panama, where it was to be used in the construction of an access road to a tourist area. The ashes contained toxic chemicals that could have damaged fragile marshes that the highway ran through and were rejected by Panama. The Sea spent the next 2 years going from one place to another, trying to dispose of the ashes in several countries, among which were the Dominican Republic and Honduras. Sea spent until he finally obtained authorization from the dictatorial government of Haiti, supported by the United States, a permit that, by the way, was obtained with the excuse that it was fertilizers. When 4,000 tons of toxic ash had already been discharged on the beach of Gonabes, popular pressure and environmentals caused the government to change its position, prohibit the dumping, and ask the ship to collect the cargo. But the latter was not possible since the ship escaped and night with almost a third less of its toxic load. Sea continued its odyssey to finish dumping its cargo in different countries: Senegal, Morocco, Yugoslavia, Sri Lanka, Singapore, without any success. The ship reported in 1988 with its old hulls empty and without giving an explanation of what it had done with its cargo. Initially, it wasn't known if the ashes were illegally discarded in any country or if they ended up on the bottom of the sea. But years later, a crew member told that many suspected that the toxic ash was dumped into the Indian Ocean. The story of the Panamanian flagged ship KNC is one of the many examples of the problems we encounter in our society to eliminate waste.
I'm going to talk about the garbage collection system. A more landfill operation probability will not exist this close to a city like Fresh Kills. Thus, the environmental effects are too profound. The most wasted is collected on the sidewalk and recycles are taken to materials recovery facility where they are stored. Organized into different groups, packed and delivered to industries that can make new productions with them. In many places, no recyclable garbage is loaded into large material containers and it is trucked to what is called an intermodal facility or transfer station. This is a new model.
At the time of its closure in 2001, city and state government had recognized the negative impact of the landfill on neighboring communities. Councilwoman Susari Molinari spoke at news conference announcing the shutdown cities. It is one of world's nightmares of a social, environmental, and health impact that has affected the people of Staten Islanders. And politicians claim to have understood how not to treat soil waste communities and the environmental.
Many people are surprised to learn that beyond deposits, they can buy back bottles and cans. They can also charge for all kinds of other things: cardboard, metal, paper, even stone rubble. The reality of our actions is that will allow us a fairly simple recycling process. We buy it, process it, and market it. Labeling the collection system will help people identify which plastics are used in different types of products. They facilitate the identification of certain products that they have in their possession to know if it should be placed in the recycling container or should be thrown away. Clean materials recovery facilities are where recyclables are separated first by the consumer. Clean up materials recovery facilities depend on people doing the right thing with their recyclables and putting them in the proper containers at home. People need to be more aware. If they are, we can reduce the size of our landfills, reduce disposal costs, and mitigate the health